Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming.
敬礼萨迦正空上师。
Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong.
16是大宝华卡玛巴。
Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa.
大吉上师。
And homage to Master Tupten
我们
Darchi.
敬礼坛城三宝。
Homage to the three jewels of the altar.
同修的本尊。
Homage to the main deity of the good practice tonight, Guru Padmasambhava.
师母，丹真嘎措图登西地。
Sumo, Tanzan Gyatso, Tutan Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers,
助教堂主。
Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet.
大家晚安，大家好。
Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
你好，大家好。愛してる。サランゲ。オラミコ。ケケロムチョ。すごい。一番。気持ちいい。住民。ヤピ。ブリンブリン。こんばんは。今天我们修这个莲花生大士的法。
Today we practice the Dharma practice of Guru Padmasambhava.
进入西藏，
And Guru Padmasambhava entered Tibet and spread Buddha Dharma there for 50 years.
第一个祖师，也就是
He's the first founder of Tantric Buddhism.
这个灵马派的大圆满法的祖师也。
So he is the patriarch or the foremost guru of the Nyingma of the Great Perfection Dharma or Dzogchen, commonly known as Dzogchen. But not only the sect, but all the Tibetan Tantrayana sect highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. We can say that he's the first patriarch or guru, lineage guru. And we know in his 10 physical emanations of Guru Padmasambhava and his Buddhaverse or Pure Land, can be said that it is that he is a highly revered and a great guru or patriarch. And Guru Padmasambhava was also a Padmakumara of an emanation of Amitabha as Padmakumara too. So the birth of Guru Padmasambhava, he was born out of a lotus. Therefore, one of his name was Lotus Born. Lotus Born Bodhisattva. Then of course, he's one of the earliest Padmakumaras. Oh, he's the earliest Padmakumara. Because Padmakumara too is an emanation of Amitabha Buddha, and Guru Padmasambhava too also emanated from Amitabha Buddha. So they had the same
我们
origin.
看他的这咒字啊，我马后
And
被
the
扎古鲁
mantra.
波那西蒂红色，
Humahom Pecha Guru Padma Siddhi Homse.
他是最早的 guru 啊，最早
So he's the
最早密
earliest
教的一个
guru in Tantric Buddhism.
所以我们称为莲师的时代的这个密教是属于旧教。
So during the era of Guru Padmasambhava, Tantrayana was considered the ancient or the old sect. So Nyingmapa was the earliest sect of
他的法
Tibetan Buddhism.
目前来讲，
And his Dhamma
大圆满
practices,
法是属于宁玛派，
the Great Perfection Dharma belonged to Nyingmapa,
是属于白教，
and Mahamudra belonged to Kagyupa.
是大圆盛会法，
And for Sakyapa was
黄
Lamde,
教大威德法
and Yamantaka Dharma belonged to Gelugpa. But all these four great
跟大圆满法其实是大同小异，
they are similar to the Great Perfection
没
Dharma.
有什么太
The
大的
other three and the Great Perfection Dharma are quite
是
similar.
殊途同归。
Not that much difference between them, among
来
them.
研究藏密的人都知道，啊，莲华生大师
If you research the Tibetan Tantrayana, you would know,
所有的教派，
although Guru Padmasambhava was the guru, lineage guru of the Nyingmapa, but all the other sects also highly revere him. So his position is very high.
八大本尊之一，
Therefore, he's one of our
佛
8
中
principal deities of True Buddha School.
莲华生大师。
So our True Buddha School also highly revere Guru Padmasambhava.
这里有个笑话哈，跟这个笑话是差不多的。
I have a joke here that's quite
一
similar.
个两个人在对打，
Two people having a dialogue.
甲讲
A said,
我好想成为一个亿万富翁，
"Oh, I want to be a billionaire,
跟我叔叔一样。
similar to my uncle."
这乙就问，
And then B asked,
那你叔叔一定是一个亿万富翁啊？
"Then your uncle must be a billionaire too."
这个甲讲不是，
And
他
he
不是
said,
亿万富翁。
"No, he's not."
哦，这个乙就讲，那是千万富翁吗？
And then
甲讲
maybe
也不是，他
multimillionaires?
只是想
No.
成为一个亿万富翁。
He just wants to be a billionaire.
这样也是笑话哦。
This is
我
considered a
记得有
joke.
一个笑话是一样的，
I remember a similar joke.
在美国，有
In
一个人
America,
问他说，
someone
你的
asked him,
每个月薪水是多少？
"How much is your salary every month?"
我每个月，
And he replied,
我每个月问他，你每月薪水多少？
"What is your
那个人
monthly
回答，
salary?"
我
And
每
he
个
said,
月薪水
answered,
有10万美金，
$100,000 US dollars
每个月薪水10万美金，
every
那是
month.
很吓人的哦。
Wow.
哪
That's
有这哪有？
quite
那这
shocking.
个人很惊讶，那你是做什么？
So then he asked him, "So
他
what
回
do you
答是
do?"
我是做梦的。
And he said, "Oh, I'm dreaming."
对，跟这个笑话差不多哈。跟以
I
前
do
的笑话讲
dreams,
起来是一
something
样
like
的。
that. Similar to joke.
这个一定是感情受创伤的人 写出来的笑话。
This must be a joke written by
这个人
someone
讲
heartbroken.
日后等
And
我
he
有
said,
一定
when
开
I
家
have
医院，
money, I would
专门治
open
疗
a
被
hospital
情所伤的人。
especially to cure the broken-hearted people.
这情所伤的人要什么药可以治呢？
And what
这
kind
个
of
医院
medicine
的
to
有
use?
中西药，
They have
中
Chinese
药
medicine
就
and
叫
Western
孟
medicine.
婆汤，
The Chinese medicine is called
这个
the
喝了什么都忘。
soup of forgetting. After you drink it, you
西
forget
药
everything.
就叫解
And
情丹。
the Western medicine is
如果
called
在
the
西医啊，打
elixir
点滴的
of
这种
merciless
水就叫
hearts.
忘情水。
And then
忘情
if
水
you need IV, then the
好像有老
water
歌
is called the
给
water
我
of
一瓶
forgetting
忘情
love.
水。
There's a song about that.
那医院的名字叫做什么呢？
And the name
这
of the
种开这种
hospital,
医院的名字，就是一刀两断。
it's with one slice or one snap of the sword broke into 2 parts.
有一个人叫做阿才，晚上12点多回家，
It's called Atai,
经过1楼的门
coming home at
听见屋
after
里面有
11
个小
p.m.
孩子哭闹不停，
as he was
跟
passing
妈妈就
by
对这个小孩子讲，
other
你再
rooms in
哭
the building.
外面的
He
鬼就
heard
进来抓你。
a kid crying, and the mom was saying, like, if you keep
这个阿
crying,
才一听
the
啊，
ghost outside
就想着
will
助
capture
人
you.
为乐为快乐之
And
本，
this person was
他就
trying
在
to help
窗外
other people.
喊了一声。
So he's
你
helping
妈
and
妈没有骗你，
said,
你要听话。
you should listen to her. Your mom
结
is
果
not
屋里
lying.
面的人，
And then
妈妈抱着小孩子，两个都哭了。
the mom and the kid are crying together.
真的鬼来了。
The ghost is here.
好吧，我们进入主题。
Now we'll get on to the main subject.
马来西亚莲花美兰问的
Question from
有我
Malaysia. The
顶礼
Q&A.
师尊，想请问师尊一个
Homage to
问题：
Grandmaster. I have a
自己
question.
佩戴的念珠或佛牌或法器，或坛城供奉的佛像，可以
May
借
I
给有
lend the
需要的
chanting
人，
beads, amulets, Dharma
比如是
implements,
自
Buddhist
己的亲
statues to
人
other people
或
who
朋
need
友
them,
或不
such as
认识
family
的人
members,
使用吗？
friends, or even people we don't know?
这当中有什么情况是可以借？
In which
有什么
situation may
情
we
况
lend
是
them
不可
these
以借？
things, and which situation
他
is
想
not
把自己
allowed?
的念珠、佛牌、法器、坛
So
城供奉的
chanting
佛
beads,
像，
amulets,
借给有需要的人，
Buddhist statues, Dharma implements,
亲人、朋友
loan
或不
to
认
people
识
who
的
need
人，
them, family members, friends, or even
有什么情
people
况是可以借？有什么情况是不可以借？
we don't know. When it is okay and when it's not.
这个问题算是什么网高问题？
What kind of question is this?
马来西亚莲花美兰问的。
Question from
他
Lianhua
的这个
Milan
问
from
题，
Malaysia.
你们认为有什么问题？
So is there a problem with this
他说他
question?
的佛牌，他的法器，
So her
他的供奉的
amulets,
佛
Dharma
像，
implements, Buddhist statues that she enshrines,
什么时候，什么人可以借，什么人不可以借？
can be loaned to what kind of people?
我从来就没有想过这种问题。
It's a strange question. I've
你们有
never
没有想
thought
过
of
这
it.
种问题
I've never thought of such issue.
没有人想过这个问题，他怎么会想出这种问题呢？
How can she think of such a question?
你的佛牌有借给人家吗？
Do you loan your amulets to other people?
你
No.
自己的法器有没有借给人家？
Do you loan your Dharma
你的
implements to
佛
other
像有出
people?
租吗？
Do you rent your Buddhist statues?
我想请莲花美兰自己来问，因为这不是大家的问题嘛。
You should
这是
come
你
and
个人的
ask
问
your
题啊，对
question.
不
This
对？
is your personal question.
这不
It's
是
not
大家的问题嘛。
it's not a common
如果是大
question.
家的问题，可以公开跟大家讲，对不
You
对？
know, if it's a common
你个人的
question,
问
we
题
can
啊，
answer it publicly, but this is a personal question.
师尊也从来没有想过说
And Grandmaster
要把佛像借给人家，
never
然后收租金啊。
thought of renting Buddhist
你
statues,
是
you know,
借，不是给，
loan. It's
不
not
是
like
完全
give,
给
it's
人家。
lending. It's not giving.
你们谁有想过这个问题？
Anybody has thought of such a
没有啊，
question? Nobody.
没有就不用答。
There's no need to answer, okay?
只有他想过这个问题，那你私人来问，对不对？ 你一
Well,
个人来问，
in this
我可以跟
case,
你答。
then it would
我
be
还要
a
问你，
personal
为什么
question.
你的佛牌
Then
要
I can
借
answer. Then I can
借给
ask
人
you,
家？
why are you
那你的佛像要借给人家，你的法器要借给人
lending
家。
your Dharma
新人朋
statues
友
or
不
Dharma
相信的人，
implements?
你也可以借给人家。借是要钱的，你如果
And
送
then
给
when
人
you
家，
loan, that
可能
means
还有问
you
还可以
accept
讲
money.
啊，我还可以回答你，完全送给
If
人家。
you
我的
ask
佛牌
about
我送
giving, maybe I
送
can
给
answer, but
啊，我的
you
法器我
give
送
the
给人家用，
amulets to other
我
people
的佛
or your
像
Dharma
送给别人用，
implements.
别人去供奉，这可以讲。你是
That
借，
makes sense, but you're lending them.
请你莲花美兰，个人到美国西雅图雷藏寺。
So
来问
Lianhua
事的时候，我
Milan,
会
please
答，我
come
会
to
回答
the Seattle
这个
Lechang
不用回答
Temple,
啊，因为没有人
and
想
then
说
I would
把自己
answer
的
it
佛像
personally,
借给人家，然后收租金啊。
because nobody else is loaning
那
their
现在呢，我们
Buddhist
讲维
statues.
摩诘经，
Now we will expound on
如是我闻，
Vimalakirti
这些
Sutra,
佛在
Chapter
尼雅
1,
离
Buddha
安
verse.
摩
Thus have I heard. At
安
one
罗
time,
素言，
the
一大
Buddha
比
was
丘
in
众
the
8000
Amra
人
garden
聚，
near the city of
菩萨
Vaisali,
32000
accompanied
众
by
所
8,000
知事，
great bhikkhus, 32,000
大师
bodhisattvas,
本行
and the
信
assembly of
具
virtuous
定，
and knowledgeable
诸佛
spiritual
威神之所
practitioners.
建立，
Their
为
attainments of the
护
great
法
wisdom
神
and
受
fundamental
持
conduct was solely due to the divine might of
正
the
法，
Buddhas. Together they form a
能
Dharma
狮
protecting
子吼，
fortress to uphold the true
名
Dharma.
闻十方。我
They
们刚
are
才讲这
able
一
to
句，
roar the lion's roar that resounded
能
throughout all
狮子
10
吼，
directions.
名
So
闻十
now we
方。
will expound on this phrase. Their lion's roar resounded throughout
一般
all
解释
10
很简单，
directions.
一般的注
Most
解这一句很
explanations
简
or
单。
most commentaries on this
这些
phrase
大比丘、
are very simple.
大菩萨，
That the great bhikkhus and the great
他
bodhisattvas,
们能够说法，像
they
狮子
can
吼一样，
speak on the Dharma like the roar of a lion.
啊，像狮子在吼叫一样。狮
So
子呢，这个
like
狮
a
子
lion's roar.
就是lion， 就
Lion
是 lion。
in
狮
Chinese,
子在叫，
狮子.
因为它是百兽之王，这狮子一叫， 所有的那个动物全部都听了都会心生恐惧。
So when the lion roars, all the animals would be scared
意思就是
and
讲说，这
become
些大比
obedient
丘、大菩萨
and
说
follow.
话，就像狮
So
子
what
吼
it
一样，
means here is that when the great bhikkhus and the great
能够向
bodhisattvas
众
speak on
生
Dharma, they are like the
让众生
lion's
顺服
roar,
佛
so
法。
that they can subdue
因此，这
sentient
些大比
beings,
丘啊、大
so
菩
that
萨，
they
他
follow
们的
them,
名啊，
the sentient beings follow
他
them.
们的名望，传
So
遍
their
了十方。
fame
这句就是这样的解
spread
释就可以
throughout
了，
all
就
10
了。
directions. That's all the
一
explanation.
般这个法师说法就这样一句就结束了。
So most
大比丘、大
of
菩萨
the
说法像狮子吼，
explanation
都
of
能够驯服所有众生。
Dharma of the monks are like
所以
that,
他们
monks in
大比丘跟大菩萨，他们名闻十
So
方。
because when the great
大家都知
bhikkhus
道
and great bodhisattvas
大比丘跟
teach
大
Dharma, it's like a lion's roar. That's why their
这一
fame
句就解释完了。
spreads
所
throughout
有的
all
法
10
师都是这样子
directions.
讲。
That's all the
讲维摩诘
explanations
经
of all the masters who explain
维摩诘跟我
Vimalakirti
讲，
Sutra. But
不
Vimalakirti
是
told
这
me,
样的。
no,
那
that's
是怎
not
么
the
样的？
case. Then what it is then? What is it then?
啊，你们当中啊，举手看看，能
Okay,
够
please try and raise
讲
your
的跟
hand
师尊的意思
if you can
一样的
say
话。
it
给他讲解
according to
反正这个国际
Grandmaster's
不是我在管，
Grandmaster's
这
what
是很好的
Grandmaster
哇，
has in
里
mind,
面好多
then
佛菩
you
萨
would get a gift. Oh, this is good. Because the Buddhist gift shop is not mine anyway.
哦，这是
It's
四
not
人
under
金
my
刚佛，
control. Oh, this one is Kalachakra
师
Buddha.
佛。
Wow, Kalachakra Buddha.
好，举手，你讲。
Please raise your hand.
跟顶礼师尊，感恩师尊。
How much can I ask?
这个
Thank you.
大比丘能够正确无误的说出如来的这个
The fact that the great bhikkhus can talk about the ultimate dharma of the Tathagatas, it would become like a lion's roar. Okay, please be seated.
其实讲的都是对的，讲的都对的。
They're all
但是
right,
师尊想的
but
不是对的。
that's not what Grandmaster is thinking.
还有吗？好，连追。
Okay, 连追。
能狮子吼是指空间，骗十方。能狮吼是指
So
没有时间，骗十
roar,
方是
the
指没有
lion's
空间，
roar
所以能够周遍一
is
切，没有时间空间，这就是
no
能狮子吼，名闻十方。谢谢师尊。
no time and 10 directions, no space, so there's no time and space.
讲的都很
Please
好
be。seated.
还有吗？
What you say are all good.
好，大师。
Okay, Ambassador.
顶礼师尊，谢谢师尊给我们机会来练习狮子吼。
Thank you, Grandmaster, for giving us a chance to roar
佛
our
陀当
lion's
年
roar.
叫弟子要狮子吼，
The Buddha
是说
taught the
就
disciples
像前面法
to
师讲，
give a lion's
你要
roar,
对正法很
like
清楚
what the
要练
reference
到
said,
四无碍。
that you need to
四无碍
comprehend
就
the
是
true
法无
Dharma
碍，
and
无
to
言
master
辞
the
无
four
碍，答辩无碍。当你能够无碍的时候，
un-
你就不怕。狮
hindrances,
子之所以能够吼叫，就
non-hindrances,
是百兽都
then you
怕。
have no fear
像我们的
whatsoever.
师尊，
And the
他
lion
说
can
法
give a
娓娓
lion's
道
roar
来，
because they are
没有
fearless.
吃螺丝的时候，
like
不会
Grandmaster,
啊，
when
坑
giving
坑
Dharma
巴巴，
teaching
因
is
为他
very
很有把
smooth,
握。我
will
们挑
not
战他，
be
他也不
a
怕，
stumbling.
因为我们这些小
And
兽
even
就是怕狮子，狮子
when
不怕我们。
he's being
所以呢，
challenged, is not
你要能
afraid
够做
because
狮
we
子
are
吼，
all small
第一个
animals.
要四无碍，
Then the lion
第
is
二
not
个要
afraid of
四
the
无畏。
small animals.
什么叫无畏呢？
So
就
you
是
need to think
说
about
一切智无畏，师尊一切智，他都
free
懂，
of
用算的都
hindrances.
懂，我们不懂，一
And
切的智
then
慧都有。说无漏无
to
碍，
be
师尊常常讲无漏
unconditional,
啊，六根无漏，眼耳鼻
non-leaking,
舌身意都无漏，修养到无漏。
non-leakage of the
佛
six
陀能够告诉
fruits.
大家说，
When you can
我
reach
是
that
无漏的，你
state
们敢
and the
吗？不
Buddha
敢。那
can
你不是讲说我
tell
是狮子啊？所以
they
狮子吼。
they have
第三呢，就
no
是说
leakages, but how
障碍
about you
修
know
行。
that I'm a
什么是
lion
障
and
碍
you're
修行的
not?
呢？佛陀可以
So
讲，
what
这个
hinder
会
our
障碍修
spiritual
行，这个会障碍。
cultivation? And the
他敢
Buddha
讲
said this
接
and
受挑
that.
战，所以
And
无
he
畏，
dares
所以
to face
不
the
怕，没
challenges,
在
so
怕，
he's
讲狮子吼，
fearless,
讲得很大声，
like the
很有把
lion,
握。第四
and
就是最重要的，
roaring
说
very
能
loudly
够
and
治最高
confidently.
等正觉的方法，
And then you
只有
also
佛陀
know
讲
the
得出来，
highest
只有我们的
enlightenment,
师尊讲得出
the
来，就
methods
是说
to attain
能
it,
够成道的
which
方
can
法，
be
无碍。
spoken only
无
by
畏
the
有，
Buddha
无畏就
and
是我敢讲，
Grandmaster.
不怕你挑战我，你
So
们这
I
些
dare
小
to
野兽来
say
挑
it,
战
and I
我，
don't
我狮
care
子不怕，所以可以
anybody
狮子
challenging
吼。
me.
那这些菩萨
And
这
I'm
些
as a lion,
大比
I'm
丘
not
呢，
afraid
学
of
着佛
it,
陀，
and all
也
the small
都能够
animals can
多多
challenge
少
me.
少做到这样子。依佛经
So
所讲
the
的，
great bhikkhus and
菩
great
萨的
bodhisattvas
四无
learn
畏
to the
是输给
extent,
佛陀的
to
，OK，
some
但
extent
是
that
已经
can
不
be
错，
like that.
所以能够代
And
表
they're
佛
not
陀，
as good as the Buddha, but
就
they
是
can
也能够做
represent the
讲
Buddha.
经说法，四
So
无
they
畏、四无
can
碍，能
speak
够
on the
名闻
Dharma
十
and
方，
explain the
受到各
sutras,
方众生的敬仰。
and
谢谢师
without
尊。
hindrance and without fear, and reach all
都
ten
讲得非
directions.
常好，
Those
这
are all
个
good,
是把这一
very
句啊
good, but
完全解释的非常的清楚，非常好啊。
yeah, to explain this
那我
phrase
的
very
本意是这样
clearly
子
and
啊
very
我
good,
跟着
but
这个维摩
my
诘大师
what
啊，
I mean,
本身是
according to Vimalakirti, the great master,
是这样子的。
the guidance from the great master
也是讲狮子吼。
Vimalakirti is like this. Also talking about the lion's roar.
维摩诘跟我讲，
Vimalakirti told me
狮子吼不算什么，
the lion's roar is no big deal.
要怎么样子才算是真正的狮子吼？
So what is a true lion's roar?
我反问这个维摩诘，什么叫做狮子？
I asked Vimalakirti, what is the
维摩
lion's
诘
roar?
讲说，《维摩诘经》里面有一句
And
话，
Vimalakirti said, inside the Vimalakirti Sutra, there is a statement which
我问
is
他什么话？
the lion's roar. And I asked him, which one?
维摩诘啊，阴默一声雷，
Vimalakirti
阴默一声雷，
uh,
不讲话的时候就是狮子
strike a thunder when he's silent. So when you don't say anything, that's a lion's
阴默
roar.
一声雷，
So that's what Vimalakirti
我
told
就
me.
想起
So
世界
silence
上
is
最
the
大的
lion's
声音是
roar.
什么？
So I
They-
thought of the loudest sound in the world is the
They-
sound of thunder.
什么话都没有用，
Any other sounds are
不
useless.
讲，通通都很静止。
You don't say anything, you're completely silent. That's the thunder.
维摩诘讲，通通不讲的时候，
Vimalakirti said, when you don't say anything, that's the sound of thunder.
卢师尊讲
Do you
维摩
know
诘经，
That Grandmaster Lu is expounding on the Vimalakirti Sutra
在
on the
西亚
first
土
night,
雷上市
on the first
天空中有
at
没有
the
响？
beginning, there was strikes and sounds of thunders in the sky above the Seattle Lechang Temple.
那个雷声啊，那一天啊，没有下雨，
And on that day, it was not
也是晴
raining.
空，
It was clear blue sky.
而且雷声
And the sounds of thunders
大家
were
都讲，哎，响雷，
loud
跟
and
我讲，师
bright.
兄刚刚有响雷，
And they
我就
told
跟你
me,
讲这个响雷，
Grandmaster, there were
那是
sounds
维
of
摩诘
thunders,
响维摩
and I did
诘
not
经，
say anything. That was
维摩
because
诘本身道，
Vimalakirti spoke on the Vimalakirti Sutra, and when Vimalakirti arrives, the thunder strikes.
这狮子吼跟雷声比起来，狮
So
子吼算什么？
comparing to
那
thunder,
个雷
what
响
is
起
a
来的
lion's
那
roar?
种力量啊，
The power of
天地都
the
震动。
thunder, even the heaven and earth will
今天我
tremble.
们这个师尊的属于生活中的寺庙，都叫雷藏寺。
Grandmasters' temples and centers are all called Li Zhang Temple, which means the store of
但
thunders,
是以
the
什么为
temples
最
of
大？
the stores of
藏起
thunders.
来最大。
So thunder is the
没有
greatest,
响
but when
雷
it
的
is stored, it is even
寺
greater.
庙就是雷藏起来的寺庙。
So like hidden thunder temples, and that is the greatest thunder. The loudest thunder is the hidden thunder.
这个天雷赢过狮子吼，
If you
我就把这
say
个讲
that
快
the
点，
thunder in
就
the
是这样
sky
子
wins over the lion's roar, then I would give you this amulet of
没有话可
Kalachakra,
说，不说法的时候，
that it's unspeakable when you don't give Dharma teaching.
那不是辩才无碍，
That's
比
not
辩才无碍更高，
unhindered
就是不说话，不说
debit.
谎。
It's even
那一个
higher
时候
than that. It's when you're silent.
就是天雷响的
The moment of silence is when the
那
thunder
是最
strikes,
大
and that
的
is
雷声。
the loudest sound of
有响雷
thunder.
啊！那一天第一次讲维摩诘经的时候，
So on the
天上
first,
响雷，
at the beginning
我
of
也
the
不说话，
Vimalakirti
你们大
Sutra
家在讲
exposition,
雷声雷声，
the thunder
打雷打
struck,
雷，
and
西雅
people
图
were
很少听
talking
到
about
雷声，
that. It's rare for us in
听到
Seattle to
雷声
hear
最
the
好是
thunders. Very
那
rare.
是维摩诘讲
So
最大的
that's
宇
what
宙之间
Vimalakirti
最大的
said,
声音是雷
that the loudest sound
雷声。
in the universe is the sound
我
of
今天在讲，
thunders. So
如果
today,
按照维摩诘所讲的，雷声的声音最大，没有错。
if according to
另外还有几个雷，你不知
Vimalakirti,
道吗？
the sound of
5个雷
thunder
啊，
is the
有
loudest.
5个雷。
You don't know. There are 5
第一个就是
kinds of
维摩诘讲
thunders.
天雷，
The first kind
声音
is
最大，
the thunder in
比
the
狮子吼
sky,
还大。
the loudest, louder than the
第二个
lion's roar. The second,
地雷，
the
我不是讲
earthly
战争那个
thunder,
地雷，
which in Chinese also sounds like a,
那个水雷，水雷。
what's it called?
什么是地雷？地震，威力无穷。
Mine,
地震
you
一
know,
来
like
啊，所有的
mines.
动物通通都抖，
But
没有不
what
抖
is
的
the
啦。
earthly thunder? That's
那是
earthquake.
地雷，
When the earthquake comes, all the animals
地
ran
震。
away.
佛经里面常常提到，
So it's often mentioned in the
东
sutras
边起来，西边沉没。
that the east rises and the west
真正的地震
descends,
是这样子，
and
最大的
the
地震很厉害。
the south rises and the north falls. That's the greatest earthquake.
第三个是水
And the
雷，
third kind is the water thunder. What is
海
that?
啸。
Oh, that's tsunami.
这个 海啸一来，大家都怕了。
When the tsunami is here, everybody is so scared and ran
你
away
看那个海啸一来，一卷，所有
from
人
the
全部被
coast.
卷光的。
And when the tsunami comes, the people can be swept away. That's the water thunder. And then the fire thunder.
火雷，什么是火雷啊？
What is the fire
难道是火
thunder?
烧屋吗
Is this like a
？No，
burning
火山
house?
爆发就是火
No,
雷
that's
啊！
volcanic eruptions.
所有的都跑光了。
Then
你狮子吼
everybody
至
will
少
run
只是在一
away.
个山，那个
So
山
a
里面的
lion's
动物听
roar
到都
is
会怕。
only at the mountain, and the animals on the
火
mountain
山
would
爆
be
发，
scared.
这个整个
But
城
volcanic
全部
eruption,
被埋掉的。
the whole city can be buried. It's
整个
been
城
in the
火山
history.
一爆发，整个城全部埋掉了。
The whole city disappeared. It's even written in the Bible.
最有名的城是什么城呢？
And what was the most famous city?
现在讲出来，
Pompeii.
大家都知道了。那整个城全部
Everybody
埋掉了。
knows. The whole
火
city
山爆
was
发也不得
buried.
了，那是火雷。
So volcanic eruptions was also incredible. That's the fire thunder. And then the
在
wind
美国称
thunder,
为飓风，
which is the
在美
hurricanes
国
or
就称为飓风
typhoon.
那是属
In
风的。
America, hurricanes
水
or
火
typhoon
风
in Taiwan.
这五雷齐响，
So the 5 kinds of thunders.
那是最大的响声，比狮子吼还厉害。
So none to be scared of. So when they sound, they're even greater than the lion's roar,
刚刚你们
right?
所讲的都是对，
So what you all said was right. What the true Dharma and
辩才
free from
维
hindrances
摩
and
诘也是辩才，
eloquence.
维摩诘本身
And
维摩诘大
Vimalakirti
师
too
他
was
的辩论，
master in
没有人
debate,
胜过他的。
and nobody
所有佛的弟
won
子，
over him
那
in
些大那
debates.
个可以讲阿罗汉，所有的
That's
阿罗汉，
why the Buddha's
甚至
disciples,
于弥勒菩
which
萨，
are the arhats, including
甚至于
Maitreya
香严童子
Bodhisattva and the
都
Xiangyan
怕维摩诘大师。
youth,
他辩才无
were
碍，没有
afraid
人能
of
够辩得过他。
Vimalakirti because he's a
只有
master
文
of
殊师利菩
debate.
萨跟他
Nobody
差不
can
多相等。
could win over him. Only
文殊师
Manjushri
利菩萨问
Bodhisattva
他，维
was
摩
on
诘
par
不
with
说
him.
话，
And when Manjushri Bodhisattva
文殊
asked
师
him
利菩萨只
something,
好用静，
Vimalakirti was quiet.
维摩诘用默，
So Manjushri
两个都响
Bodhisattva
雷。
was still and Vimalakirti was silent. And then both of them
只有
sounded the
智
thunder.
慧第一的文殊师利菩萨，
Only the
跟
most
维摩诘大
wisdom,
师
the first and
相匹。
foremost in wisdom, Manjushri Bodhisattva can be on equal footing with
释
Vimalakirti.
迦牟尼佛派谁去问候维摩诘大师的疾病的时候，
So when Sakyamuni
没有
Buddha
人敢去，
asked people to
可
visit
见在他的那个城
Vimalakirti
里面，
when he was sick,
他
nobody
威
dared to
威
go.
名十分远播。
So
释
that's
迦牟尼佛
why
的弟子，
his
每一个都
reputation
像
in that
乖孙子
city
一样，
was
没有人敢跟
truly enigmatic,
跟这
and
个维摩诘大
the
师
Buddha's
辩论。
disciples, none of the Buddha's disciples dared to debate with
当
Vimalakirti
他维
or
摩诘大师不
to
说话的
face
时候，
Vimalakirti.
就是天雷响动的时候。
So when Vimalakirti is
你
silent
看吧，
is when the
讲维摩诘经
celestial or the sky thunders
一
strikes.
响雷，天上响
That's
雷，
why when I started to expound Vimalakirti Sutra, there were thunders
很少
resounding in
天
the
上响雷
sky.
的那天就天上
Everybody
响
heard it, right? And it's rare to have thunders. But that day we
像
did have them.
我生日的那一天是6月16号，
And
今
on
天
my
是6
birthday,
月18，
which is
6
June
月18
16th,
2天前，
now it's June 18th. So 2
那一天是
days
什么？
ago,
有天文奇观，对不对？
there was a
那大家都看
special
到天文奇观什么？这
astronomical
个有七星连珠啊，有的讲是，我看电视台
phenomena.
又讲说五星连珠，
They're talking about 7 stars
多少年
coming
是
into
七星
line,
连珠的？
and the TV said 5
77
stars,
年，
and it happened.
那我一
The
生
last
才
time
碰
it
到一
happened
次，
77 years ago. So only once in my lifetime.
77年，那我一生碰到2次。
No,
我出生
77
那一
years.
年不知道有没有七星连珠。
So that may be twice then,
总之，
because
今
on the
年是
year that I
七
was
星
born.
连珠，
But
7个
this
星
year, 7
成一条
stars
直线，
were in one straight
就
line.
是6月16号那一天，
Exactly on
一直到
June
听说一直
16th,
要经过几天以后才会慢慢离
for a
开。
few days.
6月16号那一天开始，
And
7个
it
星星
started on June
7
16th.
个恒星摆在一起，包括了这个冥王星、海王星、天王
7
星、这个
planets,
金星、
which is like
木星、水星、
Neptune,
火星、
Mars,
这个土星，
Saturn,
还有一个星是什么星？
Venus,
冥王星、海王
no,
星、
no,
天
no,
王星已经没讲过了
Mercury
还有一个是什么星？
Uranus, and what else? Pluto, but
冥
Pluto
王
is
星、
not.
海王星、这个天王星、金星、木星、火星、土星、
Mars.
水星，那就8个星了，不对啊。
So Mercury,
都是一个，
Venus, Mars,
少来一个就对
Jupiter,
了。
Saturn, Uranus,
不
Neptune,
是9大行星，
and we
9大
missed
行星
one,
不是9大行星，不是9星连珠，是7
Pluto.
星连珠。
Actually, not all 9 of them, but
Wow.
7 of the planets were in the
开
straight
成一
line.
条直线，就是在6月16
R.
号，
It started on June 16th,
是农历5月18日。
which is the 18th day of the 5th month.
有的电视台
Lunar
讲说
month.
是5星连珠，
As some TV stations said 5 of the planets, some said 7 of the planets.
那一天
So what sign is
6月
that?
16号晚上，我上法座，
That evening on June 16th, I was seated on the summer throne. As I
就有
walked
一只
in,
那个喜鹊
uh,
跟着我飞进来，
there was a magpie,
大家都看到
a
了。
bird following me.
我一出
Did you
去，
see?
那只喜鹊跟着飞出去，
And when I walked out,
你说奇
it
怪不奇
followed
怪？
me out.
我问维摩诘，那个喜鹊是谁啊？
So I asked Vimalakirti, who's that
我问维摩诘，那喜鹊是谁？
magpie?
维摩诘直接回答我，那是我。
And he said, that's me.
他就在这个伞盖那边飞过来飞过去啊，每个伞盖在伞
And
盖上
he
面
was
飞过来飞过去。
flying between the parasols of all the
晚会的时候啊
parasols
那天晚会的时候
during
就在
the
伞盖上面飞
celebration,
来
my
飞去
birthday
我
celebration.
走了，他走。我就问
And
他
he
问
was
维
just
摩诘
flying around. And as I walked out, he walked out too.
哦，7颗星星哦，这个天文气象哦，7颗恒
So
星，
this is the 7
7个恒星呢，
the
摆
7
成一整，
planets on a straight
就
line
6月16号，就是农
on
历的
June
5月
16th,
5月
which is
18号，
the 18th day of the 5th lunar month,
就是我生日那一天呢。
which is my
然后呢，
birthday.
再来，那只喜鹊飞进
Exactly.
来，
Right.
又飞出去。
And the magpie, the bird,
我想
flew in and flew out.
他说他是维摩诘。
And he said that
我
was
说那
Vimalakirti.
你到底住哪里啊？你
So
一
I
下子
asked,
化成喜鹊
Where
飞
do you
进来，
live? Some,
然后又化成喜鹊飞出去。
you know, in a moment you transform into a magpie flying in and you're flying out. Where do you live? Where do you stay? And he replied, inside your heart.
啊，你来这里做什么？
What are you doing
他没有，
here?
他没有讲，
He didn't say
他不讲话，
anything. He was quiet.
他不讲话就是一声雷，
So
他不讲
silence
话就是一
is
声雷。我说这
the
个
strike
七
of
星
thunder.
啊，连成一线是什么意思？
And the seven, so what does it mean having the seven planets on a straight line? He didn't say anything. So that's
可
the
见
sound
卢
of
师尊讲维
thunder.
摩诘经啊，
So it shows
都
that
是有征兆的。
Grandmaster Lu's exposition of the Vimalakirti Sutra has auspicious signs.
跟人家不一样哦，我讲的维
It's
摩诘经
different
绝
from
对是
other
跟人家不
people,
一样
for。sure.
人家一般解
Definitely
释经是这样
different
子
from
解
other
释完
people's
了，我不
explanations.
是。
This
我
is
必须要讲
explained on the
这个雷，
surface, but it's different for me. I talk about
这
the
个雷
thunder.
啊，它应了维摩诘。
So the
任何人讲
thunder
话，
marks
讲真见财
Vimalakirti.
无外，讲的天上的
So
星星都掉下来，这个
people
天花乱坠。
people is very eloquent or glib, and they can explain so much,
他的舌头一伸出来啊，
and the
一
tongue
辩
is
论啊，
so
所有的
long
全
and
部通
can
通降服。
cover everything and subdue everyone.
倒不如不讲，
It's
什么都不说。
better that you don't say anything and keep silent.
不说话的时候啊，也能够驯服所
So
有众
even
生。
when
这
you
个
don't
才是
say a
真正
word, you can also
最伟
subdue
大的圣
the
人。
sentient beings to follow you.
他不说话，
The greatest sage never say a
他只是
word.
安静的。
They are very quiet.
这个才是真正的狮子吼。
And only that
所
would
以
be a true
刚刚那个
lion's
牌子没有
roar.
送出去。
That's why this amulet
啊，
is
你
not
们
given
讲出
away,
说，
because
维
you
摩
said
诘的
some.
阴默一声雷，这个
So
牌就给你
if you had said that
这个雷
Vimalakirti's
狮子吼，
silence is the sound of thunder, which is more incredible than the lion's roar, then the amulet would be yours.
两只老虎，
The other
两
day,
只老
I
虎
was
跑得
singing
快，一只没
two
有，
tigers running very
一
fast,
只没有耳朵，一
one
只没
without
有尾
ears,
巴，
one without
真
tail.
奇怪，
It's so strange,
奇怪。
so strange. It's a children rhyme.
老虎也是它的虎啸，这虎嗅啊，也是跟狮子吼不相上下嘛。老虎的
So,
叫声一叫，
so the roar or the growl of a tiger is
一
about
个
the
老
same
虎
as a
在
lion's
船上
roar.
很威武过
There's
生
this joke. A tiger
叫一声
is very
哇，它
majestic
就是
and
趴下来
celebrating birthday on a mountain.
啊。
And when he
你们
growled,
谁认
everybody
为勇气的到我这
everybody
边来，
bowed.
我给他讲
And then
解
he said, who
没有一
dared
个
to
人敢
come
上去，
here? I will give you a gift. And nobody
百
dared.
兽全部听他，
All the
到
animals
最后有一
were
只猫上
obedient.
去，
And then a
他
cat
们居然敢来，
got near him.
你凭什么敢来？
How dare you?
那只猫讲，
And the
我还没
cat
有结
said,
婚以前，
"Hey,
我也是老虎。
before my marriage, I was a tiger too."
他没有结婚以前也是老虎。
So
结
before
婚以
marriage,
后啊，他就变成猫了。
he was a tiger, but after marriage, he became a cat.
我
So,
们有这个
see,
挪威来的一个弟子，
we have a disciple
请你
from
站起来一下。
Norway. Please stand up.
他是要出家的，
He wanted to become a monk.
他是一个博士，
He wants to become a monk. He's a PhD.
他曾经在 Russia 读书哦，
and he studied in Russia.
他翻译了10本俄文，卢师尊10本俄文
And
的书，
he has translated 10 of Grandmaster's books into Russian.
然后我们出版社啊也不敢出版，为什
So
么？
our
因为没有人
publisher
看得懂俄文，
does not dare to publish them because nobody
没有人能够校
understands
对。
Russian.
问题是
Nobody
根本没有人能够
can
校对俄文，
review
没有人能够校对。
and proofread them.
出版社也到现在还没有出版它，但是有拿
So the
它的这个俄
publisher
文的
has
这
not
个
published them till now.
这个介绍生活中的，好像也有刊登在那个将
But
来如果
the
有机
introduction
缘
to
啊
Buddha school, I
啊
think,
出
has
版
been
俄文的
published.
这个师尊的诗，他翻译的 你翻译
In
的
the
俄文
future,
的
perhaps
俄文的
if
诗
the time
他
is
现在
right,
挪威，他在
can
挪威，
publish
你读什么科的博
the
士？
Russian books. What field of doctorate degree do you have?
神经科啊，脑神经科啊
Neurology,
，no，
brain neurology.
这是最复杂的一科哎，
That's the most
因为人的脑
complex
不得了啊，人的
because a
脑
human brain is incredible,
很难读的，
very difficult to
很难懂
study,
的。
very difficult to understand.
你是脑神经的博士，
So brain neurology,
怪不得你不想结婚，
no wonder you
因
don't
为
want
你绝对不
to
会变成猫。
get married because you don't want to become a cat.
你如果结婚了，你就会变成猫了。你不
If
结
you
婚
get
你就是老虎
married, you would become a cat. If you don't get married, you are a
他
tiger.
想要出家啊！我曾经
So
到过
cranial
这个挪威
neurologist. So he wants to become a
去
monk.
跟他讲，叫他来。
I went to Norway and
跟他讲
told him to come to
什么时
Seattle
候出家？
and when to become a monk, right?
他住在挪威耶，你知
He
道挪威
lives
是什
in
么地
Norway.
方？
Do you know where that is?
风光水秀，真的是山明
It's
水秀，
beautiful scenery there
又有山，
with oceans and
又非常的安
waters
静，
and
那里
mountains,
自然会特
very
别的好。
serene and
人
quiet, very
人
safe,
们呐，生活安居乐业，
and people live a
但是唯一的
very,
缺点是没有太
very
阳，
safe
所以
and
很多
peaceful
人得
life.
忧郁症。
But the only
很多人得忧郁
negative
症，
part is that it
有半
doesn't
年
have
等
much
于是半
sun,
年没有
so
太
many
阳。
people are
那
depressed.
个你那时候也
So
跑到挪威嘛，哈，
half a year
你那时候是在那个
without sun. And how about you? You were in Norway?
监理挪威业务，所以去挪威很多次，从南到北到处。
I was in
尝试过
Sweden,
师
but
尊讲的
I
一点没
went
有
to
错
Norway from north to south
Norway,
many times.
真的是山明水秀的地方。
And what Grandma said was
是
right.
那里哦，因为太
It's a
阳的
place
时
with
间比较
beautiful
少，
scenery,
所以
but
那里
there's not
会
much sun there.
那里的人得忧郁症的很多，
So many people
生
there
活
suffer from
也会失
depression
去目标的。
and lose meanings
我
in
们
their
今天呢，
lives
这个讲经
or
说法啊，
goals in their lives.
最重要就是
So our sutra exposition tonight, the
这
most
个
important
让人有一个
thing
正面，
is
刚刚讲
so
正
that
面
we have the right thoughts
也要有无碍，
and
要去除
also
烦恼，
free from hindrances
去除
to
我
eliminate afflictions, to eliminate attachments
我
to
执
self,
啦，这个烦恼啦，
attachments to self,
这个没有
afflictions,
障碍，
free from
那能够
hindrances,
自己本身成就一个永恒，
that
成就
you
永恒，
can attain
这一点
eternity.
是重要的。那个
Those
结
are
婚不结
important.
婚是小事，
It's a
像那个
small
维摩
matter
诘，
whether you get
维
married
摩
or
诘他
not.
变化成为一个喜鹊，
Like
我一看到喜鹊
Vimalakirti,
我
he
就欢喜，
transformed into a
为什么？
magpie. I was very
因为
happy to
我
see
可
a
能想说，
magpie
大概我
You
又
know
要结
why?
婚了。
because I thought, I'm getting married again. Because
明明
magpie
知
in
道
Chinese
女
is a
人是
sign
祸
of
水，
of marriage,
偏
wedding.
偏就是，哎，
We know that
所谓
women's
祸水是祸
brings
水，你还是喜
disasters,
欢那个
but
祸
you
水啊？
still like the disasters.
能够没有烦恼，
If you can be free from
拥有正
afflictions,
法，
having the right dharma,
那无爱，去掉我
free from hindrances,
的佛法
attachments
真
to
正到了
self
最高的成
eliminated.
就的时候啊，真的，
When the Buddha Dharma reached the highest attainment, truly,
其实也不是空，
it
但也
is
不是
not
有，
empty and it
也
is
不是空，
does not
也不是有，
exist. So it's neither
只是
emptiness
色
nor
空不
existence,
二，色空不二，
but
才
no
是真正的
differences
佛法。
between
不
existence
能
and
偏离空，
emptiness.
有
That
很
would be
多
a
人因
true
为
Buddha
空，
Dharma. So you cannot
空当然可以解除烦
be
恼，什么
biased
都是
toward
空的，我还
emptiness.
有什么烦恼？
Of
没
course,
有烦恼了，
emptiness
烦恼
can
也是空，
alleviate your afflictions. What are you
什么
afflicted
都是
about?
空的，
Afflictions are also
这
empty.
也是很
Everything is
好。
empty. And that's
但是
good
你如果
too.
认为空就会波无因果，就是
But
啊，
if
因
you
果也是
think
空
because
啊，
of the emptiness
这
that,
句
oh,
话就是
karma is
错的。
emptiness too, then you neglect it, then this
你
is
的幻
wrong.
中，你目前是在幻境之中，
Now you're
幻
amid
中
the
有一
illusory
点点的幻，
world.
就不是空。
Even when there's a slight illusory
有唯系的
illusion,
心
that's
就
not
不是空，
empty. Even when
还
there's the
是有因果，
slightest consciousness, it's
因
not
果不昧。
emptiness. There would still be
所以
karma.
佛法并不是完全讲
So the
空的。
karma
有
is
几个
cannot
人
be
讲说，哎，空啊，
disregarded.
那你的空空啊，
Some people say, oh, it's
空了就什么都可以
emptiness.
做啊，我做了也是
Everything
空
is
啊，
emptiness. I can do anything because whatever I do is
那
empty
就是
too.
波无因果了。
Then you are
你心中
neglecting
有一点
karma.
维系、很维系的心还在的时候，
So when you still
虽
have
然
the
是幻，
slightest conscious mind inside of your
但是
mind,
因为有幻，幻
although
因
they're
就有幻的
illusory, and
幻
due
因
to
就
the
有幻的。
illusory cause, there
你
would
不
be the
要以为
illusory
做错了
effect
什么没有
or
果的，
result.
那是根本是空的，那就是
Don't
落入
think that
完空。
whatever you do has
重要的
no
一点。
effects or results. Then you
所
would
以你有
fall
幻
into
来是
nihilism.
幻
This is important.
幻觉的这个因，
So
就有
if you
幻觉的
have
果，
if you create an
种因
illusory
就一
cause,
定
then
有
you have to suffer
就
the
像那个我们那个
illusory
周慧芳律师
retribution
讲，
or result. Like what
笑得好大声啊！
Dharma sister Jennifer said. Oh, she laughed so
周慧
loudly
芳律师讲，那个晚会的时候，他讲，凡左过
during the
必有痕
birthday celebration. Wherever
你
you
这个痕
have
迹就是果，
gone, you would leave marks,
凡
and these
左过必
marks
有痕迹，
are the results.
不会空的。
Not will not be
所以我们
empty.
现在活在有
So you
跟
would
空
always
之间。
leave traces
空，
wherever you've
《金
been.
刚经》里面虽然讲空，
So we live in between
讲
emptiness and
空境，
existence. Although
讲
the
空。
Vajrasutra is talking about emptiness,
有很
about
多人
empty
悟到这个
nature,
空了，没有错。
and
说
many
孙悟空
people
叫做悟空，
have realized
啊，孙悟空就是
and
悟空，他悟
comprehended
到空了，
this
但
emptiness,
是还是有
like the
果啊。
Monkey King, but they are still the results.
所以因果不昧，
So the
因果是不
cause
昧，
and
因为你犯
effects or
因
cause
就有
and
犯果。
results cannot
这律
be
师讲过，
neglected.
你凡你
Because
所
with an
过必有
illusory
痕迹，
cause, there would be an illusory result.
这一点很重要。
The attorney Jennifer
今
Tzu
天
has
讲
said it, that there are
人狮
traces
子吼，
wherever you've
名
been.
闻十方。
This is
很
very
简单的讲，
important.
就像
So
狮子吼
what we
声
talk
一样，
about this phrase
能
is
够训
the lion's
服
roar
众生。
resounded throughout all the interactions. You can be,
名闻
it,
十方，
they can be
十方
like
都
the
知道
lion's
的。
roar, and they
但是师尊
name
讲狮子吼，
throughout the 10
三个字
directions.
是
But
讲到
Grandmaster
人的
explained the
摩
lion's
羯
roar
法师的
with thunder.
啊，
according to the
他的一默一声的，一默一声的，
to what Vimalakirti said, silence is
这
the
都是很
sound
好
of
的。这
thunder.
个跟大家讲，大家记住了。
This is very good. Now,
今
please
天晚上
remember
讲到这里，Om Mani
that's
Padme Hum.
all for tonight. Om Mani Padme Hum.